Hello, Redditors. Hello, Challenge fans, and welcome to another episode of the Challenge Redditors React Podcast. This will be the 8th episode of Spies, Lies, and Allies. And because it is the 8th episode, we're going to give ourselves a great treat. And it's actually just going to be me and Levi today because it is International Podcast Day. But obviously, I can't do this by myself. I need my spy, my ally. He's definitely not one who lies. Levi, how are you doing? That's fucking hard. How do you do that so well every week?
This is weird, isn't it? Happy International Podcast Day. Let's spend some quality time together.
This is going to be an absolute car crash.
Well, as it's International Podcast Day, I thought, why not flip it up? You host, since you wrote the running order, because I've had a bit of a crazy one at work today. And thank you for that, by the way. And I do what you do, which is move around in my chair a lot.
you still have to edit.
Oh God, no, no, we've switched everything.
I am not editing this.
The weird one was the moment that I was like, okay, we're ready to go. And you were like, you still have to press record because you've initiated this thing. But no, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be weird that I actually have to answer questions now and give some kind of analysis as opposed to just tell jokes and say silly things about Tom Daly.
Oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to do your segues. But I'm sure we'll find a way around it. What we haven't found a way around is for you to exercise this week because you've had a bit of an injury. Anything you want to admit to us?
Well, no, I have been exercising, which is why I have the injury. So basically, me and a colleague of mine at work were like, because we don't work from home. We go into the building now just because of what we do. I won't go into it. But we were like, I've been trying to get back to my exercise regime for the last few weeks. And every time I kind of get into it for a few days, I'm like, oh, I'll just have a day where I just eat crisps. And then that turns into a week. And I'm very much one of those people who's like, I'll start on a Sunday because it's on the calendar like that. So my colleague and I were like, do you know what we're going to do? Mondays and Wednesdays, we're going to do a 5K at work. And then we're done before we leave the building and we don't even have to think about it. So I like running. I like running outside. I've not done it for a while since I was in isolation in July, but when I did that I was doing it in my flat, like shuttle runs.
So I've not actually videos, they were brilliant.
I've not run on concrete for ages, and I have what's called iliotibial band syndrome, which a lot of people have. There's basically like, it's not a ligament or a tendon, it's like this band that connects your hip to your knee and your knee to your ankle, and I've got a slight weakness of it on both sides. So when I have a lot of impact on the knees, it causes havoc with the bands, which basically causes the outside of my knees to inflame. Got really technical here. Causes the outside of my knees to inflame and then essentially blow my knees out. So I did my spin on the Sunday, and then I did my 5K at work on the Monday. And my left knee blew at about 1.25K, and my right knee blew at about 3.6K. Still finished it, obviously. The next day, I woke up and was in absolute agony. Like literally, both knees were gone. And then I pressed the lift to get into it in my building so that I could go to work. And unfortunately, the lift was out. So I had to then walk down 6 flights of stairs, which made the whole thing even worse. But the good thing is, it's only something that lasts for like 24 to 36 hours, worst case 48 hours. So I went to the gym on Tuesday evening because I was doing upper body. And then by Wednesday, when I was doing my next 5K, it was back to about 90%. They blew again at about 3 kilometers. But then I did what I should have done, which is foam roll, the worst thing in the world. And also put them in knee braces for 3 hours. And they've been 90% today. And after the podcast, I'm going to do a spin class.
That's a segue for me. So I do have a Levi challenge for you this week. Very linked to what you've just said. How far do you go on the average spin?
So I tend to do a half-hour spin class, which works out at around, once I do the warm down, somewhere between 12 and 15 kilometers.
Okay. So your challenge, and there's going to be intermittent challenges throughout this, but because it is the 1st of October tomorrow, you have to do 400 kilometers in October while spinning. Should be quite doable.
Yeah, I
It'll
think
make
so.
you do about 6 a week if you do about 15. So about 3 hours of spinning a week at least, which I think is something you can definitely fit into.
What, on top of the 2 5K runs and the 2 upper body sessions in the gym?
Yeah. You said you'd do these. Also, if it helps, I've once run 100K in a week. So go on.
Okay, go on then. Well, you know what I can do? I can do little 20-minute ones here, little 20-minute ones there, little 20-minute one in the morning, little 20-minute one in the evening. Go on then.
Move it into your bathroom and do it whenever you're having a poo.
No, I need to sit on the toilet to do that.
No, you can. Yeah, I'm not getting into the mechanics of that. That's a terrible idea.
But yeah, go on. I take on your challenge.
Awesome.
Okay, I have one question. I'm going to do a spin today because I'm going for work drinks tomorrow. Can we count that for October? It's the one I'd normally do on Wednesday.
Or you could do it after midnight. No, that is absolutely
because I normally take Thursdays off because I have to do the podcast. Thursdays off, not work. Thursdays off working out because I have to do the podcast. But because I'm doing drinks tomorrow, I was like, I'll do my spin after the podcast. So we're counting that as the 1st of October.
That is very, very fair. Cool.
Marvelous. I can't wait for this hell to begin. You know what's going to happen? We'll get to like the last podcast of October and I will be on like 380 and I'll be like, fuck it. I'm on the bike while we do the podcast.
That would actually be quite funny. We'll get Brian in to host that one while you're on it, just so you can concentrate on biking.
No, or you'll be hosting it, George, because you are the host this week and you're going to get some practice in.
I already hate every aspect of doing this, but we've talked about your knees. Now what we need to do is talk about my massive pole.
Brilliant. Classic George.
So I think I put this up just before we started doing the last podcast. So I couldn't remember what I did, but there's been a lot of chat on the Reddit this week about people not enjoying the dailies. We kind of said it last week. Dailies should be free things. They should be cool to watch. They should be fun to do, and they should give some good visuals for a trailer. And
wait till you hear my answers and analysis this week on the dailies.
Yeah, I imagine that's not going to go well. But we seem to think every one of these dailies so far this season has been either visually impressive but not very good for us to watch, and probably was more fun to do than it was to watch. So I had to think and said, what season has had the best daily challenges? So the options were War of the Worlds 1, Dirty 30, Final Reckoning, Rivals 1, War of the Worlds 2, and X's 1. What would you have gone for, and what do you think won?
I liked War of the Worlds 1, but I don't think it won.
Okay, what do you think won? Probably just giving it away there, haven't I?
Yeah. No, how did you give it away? Do you know which ones I did like? I quite like Bloodlines.
Oh, that was always just such a wash by the red team, though.
Yeah, but I like the actual dailies.
Some of them, yeah. Mud Pit one was quite good. Oh, the first one was good on Bloodlines. Run up that muddy slope, fill up the water, and you do it as a team. Yeah. Second one involves snakes and bugs. That was quite interesting. But yeah, go on. What do you think won?
X's 1.
No, so War of the Worlds 1 actually won with about 40% of the votes, which you can see they are very, very good. I actually really, really liked War of the Worlds 2. Someone called out in the comment I thought was a really good shout. It's Final Reckoning actually had some very underrated dailies. It was the eliminations, and the format, which are up for that season. But the best one is someone just started commenting the challenges on X's 1 were the perfect blend of physical and hilarious. Like, do you remember the treacle challenge they did on the first episode?
Yes.
And then they actually had loads of really, really good dailies on X's 1. And I really hope, probably not for next season, but they go back to that silly angle for just a few on season 40 as a bit of a throwback, and then they can use that to reset.
I think that's what they did really well on. By the way, sorry if it sounds like there's a hurricane outside. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I think that's what they did really well on All Stars, was they had a very, very good mix of the kind of current style challenges, but also with the silly ones. But that's the thing. Are they going to differentiate? You're asking the questions, so I will go. I wonder if they're going to differentiate All Stars with that type of thing and the main challenge with the more kind of cinematic stuff.
That's a very good point. Interesting you mentioned All Stars, actually, because I haven't got much for Redditors Corner, but one All Star of this podcast is Brian. We've been missing TJ's Bikes articles for 12 days, but hallelujah, a new one is up today.
Yes.
Everyone, please go and read it. Cool. Right. I think...
Cool.
Actually,
right.
In
I'll do a link.
I actually forgot to do Redditors Corner this week. I actually just saw Brian's article go up just before this pod, and I was very, very excited. Although, seeing as I'm hosting, you should have done Redditors Corner, so that's your fuck up. But
if it makes you feel any better, I forgot to listen to any Romanian rap music this week, so there's no Emmy's EPs.
Oh, well,
Happy International Podcast Day, people!
So, in honor of International Podcast Day, we are going to do the worst podcast we've ever done. But I think that's quite enough. Let's get into an episode of the challenge. So the challenge is back for thankfully a return to normal episode, which means we can return to our normal running order. Like fuck we can, because I'm hosting and this is going to be shit.
Fucks up the running order.
Last week we saw the fallout of Fessy and Josh's epic fight. TJ started his own eviction company. Big fan of that. Called Josh embarrassing and removed Fessy from the game. Quick moment of silence. Silence done.
No silence needed.
Emmanuel then threw in his compatriot Emy into elimination after a frankly very boring deliberation that I could not remember 1 second of. And then she proceeded to destroy Esther in Not Hall Brawl and got her second elimination win of the season. Emy then thanked Romania, picked Uncle CT as a partner, and got Shane thrown at her from Berna for lying to her about not stealing him.
Can I just ask?
Hold on, shut up! I don't interrupt you.
You do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yeah, I do.
Is getting shade thrown at you by Berna on the challenge exactly the same as wearing underwear? Everyone gets it. There's my whimsical approach.
I'm not wearing underwear. Esther then said she wanted her pound of flesh from Amber and left the game. Another moment of silence. And again, not quite enough of that.
No, I
Emy then had a fight with... I didn't like her towards the end of her thing. She started off very well.
She got her Instagram account back, so I'm happy for her.
Oh, that is very, very nice. Emy then had a fight with Pennywise the Clown, and after calling Emy fake. Now, that's definitely a lot to digest, so let's head to the house for a quick recap. So thank you for that update, TJ. And now, as we get the recap from the previous episode, we have a very, very drunk #1 draft pick, Devin Walker, holding 2 slices of pizza. Devin then proceeds to channel his inner maths teacher and explains the logistics of the Veteran Alliance and how it always sets up a rookie team. Thank you, Devin. And then Kyle and Devin are shocked that the rookies have not worked this out. Do you think it was necessary for them to open with this explanation? Like, do you think the audience is still confused, or was this just a massive case of Freddie foreshadowing?
So, one, I think they have worked out. They've just accepted it happens. And two, if I'm putting the Edgic hat on, Jake, I think what they were trying to do was potentially, oh, here comes the Fez. What they were trying to do is potentially throw us off the scent and make us think that Berna and Huey were going to win it this week, in the same way that in the trailer from last week, they really did kind of a big up of, are Huey and Berna the fastest in this? What's going on? So I think they were trying to swerve us a little bit. But yeah, the rookies have fully worked out. They've just accepted the situation.
Well, more on that later. But speaking...
This is brilliant.
Speaking of rookies who have worked things out, Berna has not worked out what hypocrisy is, because she seems to spend the next few confessionals crying about getting blindsided after spending 3 episodes being a clown about Amber talking about it. And then she also thinks Emy is a pawn for the vets. This was something that she said at the end of the elimination last week, and Nelson is pretty angry on Berna's behalf, thinks it's shady for Emy to have done this and stolen CT. And then they have a little bit of a conversation where Devin also points out that Berna might not be as trustworthy as he thinks, because who does she vote for? This guy. And by this guy, I mean Devin. I've just realised it doesn't translate when I do it myself. Yeah. So what did you think of this scene? Has Berna got any leg to stand on here based on how she's been speaking about Amber?
Okay, so I think with Berna that if she accepted the role, she could make an absolutely fantastic challenge villain. But I think the problem is, intrinsically as human beings, I told you, this is going to be analysis galore. Intrinsically as human beings, we have one thing, and that is that we want to be liked. And regardless of whether we don't like someone or we say horrible things about someone, ultimately all we want is to be liked and accepted. And I think that's what she wants, is to be liked and accepted. I think the kind of Amber thing, she doesn't like Amber. We've got the point. She doesn't like Amber. Amber probably doesn't like her. Clash of personalities. Sometimes people don't like each other. I think with the Emy thing, it's another classic case of someone can't separate the game from the personal. Yes, they're friends and sisters of 3 weeks, but also it is a game. And I liked what Devin said last week when Fessy went, which is, okay, Fessy's gone. He's not dead. He's been deactivated from a game. And I think that's what a lot of the rookies especially struggle to separate, is the fact that this whole thing is a game. Yes, you make friends with people, but I think there's a difference between a Nelson and Corey alliance of, was it like 4 years, 5 years, and a Berna and Emy alliance of, was it 4 or 5 minutes? So, you know, and I think as well, it's that jealousy. She had the golden ticket. She had CT, and Emy took the golden ticket. Emy had every right to take the golden ticket, regardless of whether she promised Berna or not. Yes, Emy was shady in the fact that she said she wouldn't, and then she did. But at the same point, and I always say this, it's a game. Accept it. It's a game. It's not like your best friends.
Your point is, if you blind someone who you've got an actual relationship with outside the game, that's crossing a line. But if you're just aligned for game purposes, kind of get fucked. It's something that you should expect to happen, and you should protect yourself against it.
I'm not even against you blindsiding someone who you have a game relationship with. So for instance, I think, okay, so here's one. CT and Kyle, they have a game relationship for 70% of the game every season, and then CT fucks over Kyle.
Yeah, completely unapologetically every time as well.
And first of all, Kyle's like the rookies. He's accepted this is going to happen, but he still loves CT and wants to be friends with him. So he's not stopping it. I'm not against that, because I imagine that Devin and Kyle probably text and FaceTime all the time. I don't imagine CT and Kyle do.
No.
Berna and Emy have only known each other for a few weeks. They've not even swapped numbers. They don't have their phones back. So, yeah, I think you can make a promise to someone, but ultimately it's a game, and it's every person for themselves, and you're trying to win yourself $1 million. You're not trying to win Berna from Survivor Turkey, who lives in Germany, $1 million. I don't know. Am I being a bit harsh? I think I'm just trying to be a bit logical about the fact it's a game.
Yeah, I also think you touched on something a bit more interesting there, though, where you said Berna's got what it takes to potentially be a great villain. And I agree if you took out the emotional side, because there is one in my head, but think of like 3 absolute all-time villains on the challenge. Who jumps out at you?
Amanda, Paulie, and I'm trying to think of another villain. I love Devin, and I think that he is a tongue-in-cheek villain. I think he was a over-the-top Joker villain beforehand. Now I think he's that nudge, nudge, wink, wink, we're all in this together villain.
That's interesting.
The lovable rogue. He's a lovable rogue, I guess.
Well, what do those 3 people all have in common? Apart from being villains, because you just named them villains. Don't be a douche.
Okay, so I think Paulie's slightly different, because Paulie does have an emotional side to his game. But Paulie's main thing is, I want to win. I want to be a challenge legend. Amanda, unapologetically a villain. She jokes about being a villain. She's happy to be a villain. She doesn't give a shit. She's a villain. And then the old Devin, he was how did I not say this? Where's back in the day? Johnny Bananas back in the day.
There we go. There we go. That's the one I was hoping you come. Now, okay, if you pick up, you've kind of touched on it with Amanda. they don't give a shit what people think of them. That's what you need to be a good villain. The only ones that the emotional villain I could think of was Frank Sweeney. But he also doesn't really give a shit what people think of him outside the game, because like when you see him on Rivals 2 Reunion, he's like, no, I've got my life together. I'm happy. That's not who I am outside the game. And he's a piece of shit to Sam, but he has got that element of not really caring.
Berna, one thing I will give him credit for, he can take a punch.
It was an open-handed slap.
Well, that would get you removed from the game nowadays.
Little smush gets you removed from the game nowadays.
But no, I agree. I think Berna had the potential to be such a good villain, but she's too emotional, and she actually deep down does want to be like every single human being intrinsically.
We'll talk about her villain career in a bit, but also
can I also touch on something that you said when you were talking about Devin calling out Berna for voting for her?
Yes.
And then they talk about you can actually see the person next to you.
Yeah.
That's something that we've talked about. I don't think we've talked about it on the podcast, but we have talked about it in like text message and kind of pre-recording and stuff and post-recording. I think we've actually done it and gone, oh, we should talk about that on the podcast.
You probably have, yeah.
But we do have certain information that we won't say what the sources are. It's not a spoiler because it happened in the past and it's shown, which is that they could all see who everyone voted for and they had to change it up production-wise, which ultimately I just think that way of voting just wasn't thought through.
No, actually, we have discussed this because didn't we say we didn't understand how it worked? Did they have to film them around the table when everyone went to the side of the room and they filmed the close-ups one-on-one? They clearly don't do that, right? That was when we discussed it. But they obviously clearly don't do that, do they? Because how did Devin find out?
Well, from what we know about what they do, which we won't go into too much detail. I do think what they do is they let them vote, so they all actually do see it, and then they film the close-ups.
Yeah. Also, do you think production? I think I read this in someone's article this week. They were asking the same question. Do you think production has stopped them covering their screen? Because like when I watch porn on the tube, I cover my phone out of respect. I don't really watch porn on the tube. I just want to see what your face did. I stole it from Brian's article.
What just happened?
You had a small aneurysm. Do you
Happy
think
International Podcast Day.
Do you think they've been told they can't cover their screens? Because they must be, right? Someone would have worked that out.
Yeah, of course, because they need to get the shot. They need to get this shot.
Good point. Speaking of shots, someone who would like to shoot someone is Amber and Berna, because we then get a couple of quite, not even catty, just quite final confessionals from Amber that Amber is going to get Berna out the game. And then we also just get what seems to be a classic of this season is Nelson explaining the bleeding obvious. And he just says that Berna and Huey need to win the next challenge or they're on the chopping block. Thanks, Nelson.
I actually don't know how I'd live my life without Nelson. I would love Nelson to just be that person that just walks next to me and he's like, yep, you need to cross the road now. Yep, I know, Nelson. I need to get to the other side, don't I? And then like go to the shops. Yeah, you need to pay now. Yeah, I know. Thanks very much, Nelson. Glad you're here. I love him.
Last time we suggested TJ Lavin start his own eviction service. Would you like Nelson to be your sat-nav announcer?
Oh my God, yes. Nelly T on Waze. Could you?
I actually think he'd be better doing a cooking show, to be honest.
No, but could you imagine it? He'd be like, yo, this is Nelly T of TYB. Gonna tell you to turn to the left, to the right, and go straight onto the T junction.
Oh, I was really hoping you're going to say, this is Nelly T telling you from MTV, telling you to go watch.
Nelly T from MTV, part of TYB, with Corey and Hunter B. Sometimes nice. We let him fessy till he turned on me.
No copyright strikes on this. This is a Levi original rap.
21, and there's the copyright strike right there. No, I'd love it. Could you imagine it? And then the best thing is, if you accidentally drove into the river, you'd be fine because you got Scuba Nelly on your Waze. It would be the greatest thing in the world.
It actually has legs to it. You know,
Yeah, they're kicking so you can swim.
well, actually, you've always done the segue for me quite nicely there. Speaking of swimming, you know what, Levi, have you ever been awake on a sunny, beautiful day in Croatia, just decided to jump in the pool and then take off all your clothes?
I am known to get my tits out in a swimming pool.
But have you ever skinny dipped in broad daylight and sober?
No, I'll be honest. Right now, I don't have the body for it. By the end of this season of the challenge, I'll be back to Nam.
Yeah, back to Nam. Now, all you need to do then is work on your balls. But speaking of someone's balls, you almost get to see him.
Oh,
Wells in that scene.
Some of my segues are tenuous, George, but that takes the cake.
That wasn't even a mistake I was going to do, because what we actually get next is Big T calling Emmanuel a pervert as he watches them skinny dip. But then we get this like little back and forth from confessionals about Emmanuel being interested in Tori, and Tori also finding Emmanuel. Hold on, now how did she describe it? She thinks he's interesting and cool, like Dracula.
Like Jordan,
Romanian. I was going to say, is this Jordan's long con of getting her back? He's going to grow a slightly different beard, wear a different set of dungarees and put on an accent and then have revenge sex with Tori.
What do you know what I'm thinking? Wasn't it like 2 episodes ago he was telling Michelle that he loves her?
Yeah, but you know, he's a vampire. They're immortal. They can't get too attracted to
But hold on.
Women.
Here's the crazy thing. Amanda got with Fessy in the challenge house.
Mm-hmm.
Fessy got with Michelle outside the challenge house. We got confirmed on the aftermath. Michelle got with Emmanuel in the challenge house. Emmanuel potentially might get with Tori in the challenge house. Tori got with Fessy and Carbo.
Wasn't it Turks and Caicos?
Whatever.
Although that was a very, very, for someone who doesn't really care about the hookup side of this, mate, that was actually really impressive.
Well, I got to do something on this podcast since you're doing all the work this week.
It's really hard. I don't know how you do this. Emmanuel then teases getting naked and joining them in the pool, but he gets a bit shy when he has to take his boxers off. Didn't think of Emmanuel as a shy type.
He's not being shy. He's teasing them. He's making them want more. Classic Emmanuel. What a player!
And I actually don't have a segue for this one. So Priscilla and Bettina, we actually get a bit of screen time for both of those two this episode, which is quite interesting. But they're talking about getting thrown in, more foreshadowing. And they talk about how it will have to be one of them. And then they talk about the threat of a vet alliance. And then we get a lovely little montage. I love a montage of all the rookies getting thrown home. Thrown home? Going home, sorry. I meant to say thrown in, and I mixed up two things there. But Priscilla is now ready to see vets in the lair. What were your thoughts here? Do you think Priscilla was actually just like talking a big game? Do you think the vets were going to... Because every time any rookie has talked about throwing vets in, they've been overheard and screwed over. Did you think this has legs, or was it just another one of those set up to fail ones?
So, first of all, Bettina, good to see her back. Not seen her for a few episodes. I'm not going to say weirdly attracted to her, because she's a very good looking lady, but I can't work out her accent. But I actually got to the point, and this is going to be a rogue reference. I was listening to her and I was like, is that a Swedish accent? Then I realized I don't actually know what a Swedish accent is. So all I started thinking of was Ulrika Jonsson from Gladiators.
You love a Gladiator reference.
But going back to what you say about Priscilla, I have said for weeks, Priscilla needs more screen time. Priscilla is very intelligent. Priscilla seems to get the game. Priscilla is the only one. I think her and Kells together, when they were both in it, were the ones that were trying to get rid of this whole vet thing. And I always felt that once she got an opportunity to shine on the show, she would do something big. And I don't think it was all talk at all. I think Priscilla knew exactly what she was going to do if she got thrown in and won. And I think that's what she was saying to Bettina, almost to say, look, it's going to be one of us that goes in because we're the only rookies that haven't. This is what I want to do. But if you go in and win, I need you to do it for me. And I think she's trying to, one by one, start a rookie uprising.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think she's absolutely brilliant. And I just think it's a shame that we've not really been allowed to see much of her for the last 7 episodes.
Well, it's a good point because there's no other rookie girls left who haven't been in yet, right?
No, it's Jeremiah from the guys and Bettina and Priscilla from the girls.
Do you know what potentially caused? Do you know the rule in prison? If a mob boss goes in, you have to always have 6 guards around him whenever one talks to him one-on-one. And the theory behind that is 6 people can't keep a secret. Do you think that's where the rookies got screwed at the start? Because obviously Priscilla and Bettina now just know, well, one of us is going in. If we make this game move, we know who's told the other one, so we know if one person betrays us. But with when there were so many rookies at the start talking to each other, it was so easy for one of them to leak. Do you think there's almost, it's the opposite of, there's safety in smaller numbers here for those two, right? And that's why they've been able to pull this together.
Well, I think as well, at the start, part of the problem was they were also scared of the vets, that they were just more than happy to leak information. They were more than happy to say who started it all. Because all they wanted to do was save their own skin. I think all the rookies are now at the point where they're like, we know what's going on. We need to find a way to stop it. But we can't really do it if we try and come together as a group, because one person's going to say no and then grass on us. So let's find one rookie that I trust and have the conversation there. And I feel like Priscilla's worked that out. And she's looking at people like Bettina and she's looking at people like Jeremiah as the 2 that have yet to go in. So they're the 2 along with her, so the 3 overall, that can actually switch this up. Because all the people that have gone in and picked their vet partners already essentially have got this really good relationship with their vet partners now. And they're kind of just following. Whereas I think Bettina and Priscilla and Jeremiah have something to prove. They need to go into the lair. They need to switch up their partners. And, well, I say they need to switch up their partners. They've already got partners, but they know that they're the ones that are going to go in. So what they need to do is cause a huge power balance. And I think Priscilla's the one that has the brain to work this out and to get it all going.
Hold that thought, because I want to come back to that later on in the episode. But I actually really liked how this scene was edited next to the next scene, because you've got Josh and Amber lying on a sun lounger, talking about how easy it is to be a vet. Just while probably a few feet away from them, their downfall is being planned out quite nicely by Priscilla. But the thing we get here is that Amber is frustrated at her lack of control in the game and how she needs to make sure Berna leaves. Do you think there's a lot of what Berna's been doing that we're not seeing? Because most of what we've seen from Berna about Emy B is definitely in confessionals only.
I think it's a weird one, because we love Amber, so we would never say anything negative about her. I think Berna seems like quite an imposing figure. She seems, at least, obviously we've seen a few kind of crying moments with her, and I want to be like blah 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 blah, but in general she seems to say what she says, stick to her word, not back down. As we know from Amber from last season, from when we had her on the podcast, she's gone through some difficult moments in her life, especially over the last few years, and she's kind of found this challenge family. And I think maybe it's that worry that, one, she loves being there, so she doesn't want to go home, and 2, she doesn't want Berna to get in people's heads. Like, Amber always got on with Nelson, but yeah, Berna's with Nelson, so Berna's making all these comments about Amber to Nelson. That's going to turn Nelson's head. Nelson can then get in Corey's head, and we know Amber got on with Corey from the final. Corey's got good relationships with X, Y, and Z. Could he then change? It only takes one. It only takes one bad apple to spoil the cart. And,
oh my God, you got one right.
Yeah. Nice. So I think, I feel like it's really weird being serious and insightful.
Oh, testicles. Carry on.
But you know what I mean? I think that's the thing is, Amber's now that Fessy's gone, Amber's actually in quite a pretty position in the game.
Amber's always in a pretty position. She's stunning.
But do you know what I mean? She's in a good position in the game. Whereas, as I say, Berna can upset that by getting in the right people's heads.
So,
and also, I just think Amber doesn't like people being horrible about her. None of us do.
That one's fine. But do you think Amber's actually got that good a relationship with the people you just said? Like, I know you and me adore her. We think she's lovely. But she had a lot of people coming at her on one night and no one jumped into her defense except for Josh, who was her partner. And that was already kind of like, that's because people dragged him in. It's because we know Josh likes the dramatic side. And also because we know Josh and Fessy's relationship was already fractured. CT won a final with her and didn't stand up for her. I know that's not his game. But do you think Amber's got anyone that's really and truly got her back in the game at the moment? Because I really don't know. And I actually don't think so. Well,
obviously, in the game that has already been filmed, Jeremiah would obviously have her back because they're hooking up in the game. She was sharing a room with Kyle and Devin. And I imagine Kyle and Devin like her.
Yeah, I think that's probably true.
Like, because I think what they also think as well, not just do they like her as a person, because they did a lot of drinking with her last season, but also the fact that, because remember Amber told us all like the fun things her and Devin and Kyle would do when they got drunk at night when the cameras were off.
Where they ran around with their asses out.
Yeah, eat my ass.
That was the story that Devin told us. No, that Amber told us last time.
But I also think that with this Vets Alliance, all the vets know at some point the vet bloodbath is going to happen, and you don't want to put any cats among the pigeons and put yourself on the bottom of the vet pack. So no one's going to stick up. Like, no, to be fair, other than Esther, no one really stuck up for Fessy. No one stuck up for anyone in that argument.
True. That's true. They just actually boiled it over.
They boiled it over or just laughed at it.
Do you think Berna should be worried that Amber's got a bit of a vendetta against her?
I don't think either of them have. I don't think, this sounds weird, I don't think anyone else in the house is paying attention to it other than Amber and Berna. And I think ultimately, like, they don't like each other. As I said, personalities clash. I think it's just that.
Fair. So Berna shouldn't have any alarm bells ringing about this, but where there are alarm bells ringing,
yes, I've taught him so well.
It's in the house where that we now know that they're probably off. That they're off for another daily challenge where they're going to have to defuse or blow something up, because these are the most uninventive daily challenges ever. We get a little bit of a small bit of insight from Berna. She talks about how much she wants to win for her mother and father. I think probably trying to humanize her a bit in front of the audience. Too little, too late. You can't make a clown a human. TJ then introduces our next mission, dive bomb. See, told you it was going to involve blowing or diffusing something up. So why don't we head over to TJ and find out what will happen in this next daily challenge. So thank you for explaining that, TJ. So from the pro host to the no host,
I like
hey, I'm a shadow of TJ's ability here. So for dive bomb, we have half the cables on land, half the cables in the water. Partners have to collect puzzle pieces and wires to set off a bomb. They have to take turns on some badass water skis. I'm going to steal a joke from Brian here. Can you imagine how fun it is to go, that jet ski is not badass enough. This jet ski is not bad. That's the badass jet ski I want. It's this poor Croatian man crying because TJ's insulted his jet ski fleet. Anyway, and then one person will head out to TJ's yacht. I mean, that's what you get when you're a good host. You get your own yacht. I'm still on a tricycle. That was terrible.
Mine's being delivered next week. Did I not tell you?
Oh, nice. I can't wait to go out on your yacht. That'd be brilliant. But yeah, they have to get a key to open the box, build a puzzle, which will set off a bomb, and then the winner becomes the agency.
Power couple.
So they decided to do this in 3 heats. Heat 1 was Jeremiah and Big T, Tori and Ed, Kyle and Amanda, and then Amber and Devin. My first thought, this looked fun. But heat 1, we had Jeremiah struggling with the machine and the diving, which is weird because he's been below the radar all season. Logan gives it... You're a very, very good soundbox. Logan gives a weird confession about practicing this in the Mississippi River. I found that really strange. And not a hot take.
Be honest, didn't understand what you said when you said that.
Yeah, he is not the easiest person to understand that. But anyway, Big T can't climb a rope, doesn't use her feet, tries the Gabbo school of climbing. And
I forgot about him.
Oh, I miss Gabbo. I actually really, really do miss him.
Said no one ever.
I mean, he's quite well loved on the Reddit.
Oh, okay. Said the Reddit.
And who are we?
The Redditors, and we are reacting. I feel like I'm in a parallel universe.
Yeah. Maybe we play.
I put a background on as well for this episode because it's International Podcast Day, so I thought people were bored of the white background.
So, did anyone in this first heat impress you during the water bit? We'll get to the puzzle bit in a minute. I want to break it down.
No, I thought this was a crock of shit.
Okay.
To be honest.
I forgot that you had strong theories about it. So I'm going to rush through the rest of the daily recap because I can't stand you bitching about it. And then I'll let you bitch about it. I'll let you bitch about it at the end.
No. I'll bitch at the top. Because I'm sorry. If they had to swim to the puzzle pieces, dive underwater, swim back, fine. But all they had to do was hold on to a dustbuster.
Nice.
And then that took them there. Then they just had to dive down a teeny weeny bit, and then they turn around, back on the dustbuster, all the way back. I think basically one of the producers saw that like mini jet ski thing and went, "Oh, that's cool. Let's implement that." But yeah, like it was ultimately just hold on to the jet ski, grab your puzzle pieces, do a puzzle, and it wasn't even that interesting to watch someone just do this.
Do you reckon it was buy 4 get 1 free, and they just really wanted one of these jet skis and didn't want to pay for it?
100%.
I slightly disagree with you. I didn't mind this one because it clearly wasn't that easy because you had kind of one person in each heat who really struggled with it.
Okay, then they are shit at holding a vacuum cleaner.
Well, also, are we going to have to talk about this again? Big T not being able to climb a rope. Like, I thought she was training in this off season.
So what I will say about that is, did her and Jeremiah not go, that rope's quite high. Why don't we, since we have to alternate, have Jeremiah, you can go first, then Big T, you go, and then Jeremiah, who could literally just reach the rope. Like, that was just really, really badly thought out by the two of them.
So the thing is as well there, I reckon Big T set the order for them and was like, I'm better in the water. I'll go first and get us off to a strong start.
But it's not swimming. That's the thing. It's
that's
onto something.
I agree. But yeah. I mean, you saw how knowing how to move in water still had an effect on this challenge, right? Because Jeremiah couldn't get under.
Well,
couldn't dive with a jet ski.
Didn't need to. Could have just reached. Oh, there it is. I don't even think this was like visually fun until they put the music on in the third heat.
So yeah, fair enough. Actually, I didn't get the music. What music did we play?
Oh, I can't remember the song, but I've actually been listening to it over the last month. But it was good.
Okay, well, thank you for your. That's replaced Emy's EP. Levi misremembering a song for the thing, going, yeah, it was all right.
Levi's mystery music. Mystery Mission music by Levi Hall.
I did quite like Amanda's confessional here, praying Kyle has brains behind his Botox. But
I did like that.
I thought that was funny. We haven't had much of Amanda the last few episodes. I hope we get a bit more of an upward trajectory of her at the moment.
Well, remember, she's sad because Fessy died.
So does that mean that heaven is Mexico? Because that's where she's gone to find him.
That's where she's found him. Oh my God, can I just say, it's normally you that brings up the Bananas podcast, but since I'm the co-host this week, I'll do it. Fantastic introduction by Bananas to Fessy. He ran down all his achievements in D1, the fact that he'd been in 2 finals, and he went, but all of those pale in comparison to the ultimate achievement of becoming a stepfather. I just thought brilliant.
Oh, I'm glad you started listening to that. I don't know who's on this week.
I actually didn't listen to it. I just saw the clip of the introduction on his Instagram.
I'll tell you when Devon's on, because that'll be hilarious.
Is he booked, Devon?
I just hope they do. That will be a great episode. And
I can think of one podcast that Devon might come on, hopefully, again.
You're hosting that.
There's a specific week that I want to get him on.
I know.
Because that is the week that I won't be working for a week, which means we can both drink and we can all drink.
That sounds very, very
and then it will be edited the next day.
That makes more sense. But as they all collect their pieces, you've actually got quite... Jeremiah and Big T are out of this now. They had to do an extra trip, no chance. But with Amanda, Devon and Ed on separate teams here, now I don't want to put Ed into like puzzle legend status yet, but he did a really good job in his first one. We know he's smart.
That's the map of the world. I know!
That was such a good first episode for Ed. But there's some big puzzle hitters battling out here. And then you got two people referred to as the puzzle king and queen. You had Devon as one and Amanda as the other. Just bear that in mind, because this happens a fucking lot during this challenge. But sorry, we're not gonna, I think you were bored of the puzzle. Devon and Amber win and a water barrel explodes.
Literally the worst explosion I've ever seen in my life.
That really threw me. I had to rewind that and watch that again. Have they run out of fire in Croatia? Is it all in Amber's ass?
Oh, I don't get that.
Oh, she has a quote. She has a confessional like 2 episodes ago about that someone lit a fire in her ass.
Do you know what I also thought? And I actually
sorry, go on.
Do you know what? Sorry. Do you know what I also thought was the way that the puzzle was? The bits didn't actually join up the wires. That would have thrown me if I was doing the puzzle.
I didn't actually look that deeply at the puzzle, but fair enough. I
had more time to concentrate because I wasn't writing a running order this week.
Yeah, I also wasn't. So I've had a pretty hectic day at work. I've had to watch this in like 7-minute increments between meetings today while typing up a running order. Maybe that's why I didn't like it, but maybe that's why I didn't mind the episodes much, because I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, we now move on to round 2. So we have Nelson and Priscilla, Berna and Huey, and Josh and Ashley. So credits where it's due. Berna did a pretty cool handbrake turn underwater on one of the jet skis, which I thought was quite awesome. And Berna and Huey come out strongly here, and everyone is nervous about them potentially winning. Now, do you think they tried to make this seem like too likely an event for it to ever happen? Or do you think you thought Huey and Berna had a chance here?
Well, before we get on to that, I'd like to make 2 points that are not about Huey and Berna. Point 1 is Nelson wasn't in this round. It was Scuba Nelly. He's back. And the second one is Ashley Mitchell has the most beautiful body posture that I've ever seen. I'm like mesmerized by her body posture.
You mean how she stands up?
Well, stands when she like crouches, when she's all concentrating before a challenge. Like, she's got like a beautiful body, and the posture is even more beautiful. I don't think I'm making sense, and it sounds like I'm being weird, but
you are being quite weird.
I don't know if she does yoga or Pilates or something like that, but her posture is unbelievable. Back to Berna and Huey. Yes, I do feel like they were trying to set this up for, let's make everyone think Berna and Huey are going to win, because if they don't, everything's really fucking obvious for the rest of the episode. But fair play, both of them. It wasn't just Berna. I think Huey did a bloody good job as well. They did really, really well, but they came up against the real puzzle queen, the perfect posture that is Ashley Millionaire Meltdown Mitchell, and you just can't compete against her. You can't.
So we're carrying on 2 queens and 1 king. Fucking nightmare here. But yes, you're right. Ashley and Josh win. Do very, very well. Good for them. Now we move on to round 3, and we've got Corey and Bettina. Strong team for a puzzle. Emy and CT. Actually a strong team for the puzzle. Emmanuel and Casey.
Casey's good at puzzles.
Is she?
Yeah, she did a lot of Leroy's puzzles last season.
Okay, fair enough. And then Nanny and Logan.
He's so hot. Do you know what? I've actually, when he was going through the water and his mouth was going. Describe that to the audio listeners.
That was Levi looks like he was just on. It looks like if you're watching the YouTube, it looks like Levi's been spread up to 1.5 times teens. It's very speed. Sorry, it's very strange. What are you doing?
Basically, they had a shot of Logan going through the water really fast, and the water resistance. Logan's kryptonite of hotness is water resistance, because he did not look hot when he was doing that. But I also love the fact that Corey was like, we've got some heavy hitters in this. We got Emy and CT, Emmanuel and Casey, Nani and Logan, me and Bettina. And I was like, what?
I think he's taking the piss there, to be fair. You get because you get quite a good comment from Bettina, which is that she's heard Corey sucks at puzzles. And Corey's basically her, Corey says that he's basically Bettina's assistant. Then I think potentially one of my favorite
say something different when she said he sucked at puzzles, which was to do with something that may or may not have happened with Fessy in the bathroom.
The Blumpkin.
Yes.
But no, this is still my favorite response from when anyone asks TJ for a check, and he says, "No, that's not right.
So,
not even close."
Genuinely. So when I was watching it, you be Corey and I'll be me watching it.
You want to ask for a check?
Yeah.
Okay. No,
so hold on, wait. So I'm watching it. I'm kind of concentrating, but I'm also eating a protein bar. So
you want me to do TJ as well? So
no. You just do Corey. Just do Corey. Okay, you ready? Okay.
Check.
What the fuck? That was literally how I reacted. Now do the TJ bit.
No, not
okay,
right.
That makes a lot more sense.
I was also quite surprised when they asked for a check. I thought, fuck, they got to say, and then TJ's like, good. All balance has been restored to the universe, except I'm hosting and you're not.
But they showed us their puzzle, and you just look at it, you go, there's like 8 bits that don't attach to each other.
Do you think they were actually just thinking it was get all the squares onto the board first?
Yep.
Oh, they're so cute. I really hope they have people to help them cross the road.
Corey does. He's got Ryder.
That's sweet, actually. There was some interesting. Oh, can you put your Jake Edgick hat on for me, please? No, the other one. This is terrible content for listeners and probably viewers, to be fair.
I'm trying to see if I've got a hat in here. I haven't.
There's some good second-person visibility on Emy. CT complimenting her, calling her a beast, thinks they'll do really well together. I like that. Something you probably enjoy because you hate Nanny. She struggled to dive, couldn't get a thing under the water.
Oh, is that the joke? The host basically says the co-host hates Nanny. Okay, yeah. Oh, I hate her so much. Oh, she's a bitch. Ugh, yuck, Nanny.
And then finally,
can't win a final. Oh, hate her so much. Think she's so good. Oh, I'm a vet. Oh, I wasn't in it for about 7 seasons, and now I'm back, and now I'm so entitled, and I get to finals, but I don't win finals because I'm Nanny. Oh, Nanny. Is that all right for pretend hate of Nanny?
It was very, very good, actually. It was more sincere than your real hate of Nanny.
I love Nanny.
CT gets called a puzzle king. Do these guys understand how a monarchy works? It's 2 kings and 2 queens here. It's not a pack of cards. It's not Westeros. Fuck off. It's 1 king and 1 queen.
I think given the many things that are currently going on with our monarchy, I think we should gloss over this.
Yeah, very good point. So CT and Emy win.
Yep.
Good for them. That's nice. That's 2 daily wins for CT in this season, and it's 1 daily win and 2 elimination wins for Emy. That's quite a good rookie season numbers already.
I would be very surprised if Emmy's not back next season.
Yeah, I would be too, unless her rap career really takes off.
Well, I mean, she's got a fan here, right here. Quick question. I know you're asking the questions this week. Did you enjoy seeing CT with his top off?
Yeah, he looked really hot in this one, actually.
Yeah.
Also, his hair looked very good this season.
So I've been thinking about the hair during this episode. Leroy is massively missed in that house.
Oh, Brian calls it out really well. The scene of Josh on the sunbed when he's got that like line as a fade. Yeah, Leroy is missed this season.
There's that also, now that CT's lost weight and he's got quite big hair, his head looks massive. It looks like Josh size.
Every time I see Josh, I generally picture one of those Easter Island statue head spins. I just can't. I can't not do it.
Yeah, there's some real issues with the trims this season, says this guy right now, looking like this.
Yeah, I'm getting this all chopped off tomorrow. I need to be streamlined for the running.
Well, I haven't. So I've moved to the other side of London from where my parents live and where I grew up, but I still refuse to change hairdressers. So I currently can't go back and get a haircut because I only have a quarter of a tank of petrol, and it will take me a third of a tank of petrol to get back to my parents and back. And I'm not sure if the Americans know, there is a petrol crisis in the UK. I like to call it toilet roll 2.0. As we all know, all the toilet roll got guzzled up last year because one person tweeted a shelf that had yet to be restocked. Suddenly everyone thought there was no toilet roll during the pandemic and just bought it all. We've got that problem here with petrol. People are queuing for like 7 hours for petrol. We've run out of petrol. People are filling bags and bottles, which will end up exploding. So absolute morons. And then good way of
filling the gene pool, mate.
Exactly. But I'm one of those people. I never actually fill up my tank until I've got maybe about only 10% left. So until I'm in the red with 10% left, I don't fill up my tank. And I'm not going to change my petrol habits. But my friend filled up his tank the other day. He again was on empty, so he had every right to fill up his tank. The person next to him filled up 2 pounds in their tank and 7 jerry cans.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Why aren't people stopping this at the site?
Because I saw a thing on one of the morning shows. I think they've got Good Morning America in America. We've got Good Morning Britain over here. And they had someone on who said, well, the people at the forecourt should just police it. No, because people are pulling knives on people over petrol and it's not fair on people in the forecourt.
Didn't a father and a son have a fight at a forecourt the other day?
Yeah, they had a whole brawl. Sorry, I thought I've really gone off tangent. Let's try and get it back into the challenge.
Rage cage. Side thing on that, I work in converting petrol cars to electric vehicles for some of the UK's largest fleets. So this is actually making my job incredibly easy. So please keep fighting, all you horrible morons.
Well, my dad's got a Tesla, and I've never heard him be so smug.
Nice, I like that.
Not only can he drive his car as much as he wants, he can watch BBC iPlayer while he's parked.
Yeah, really good product, mate. Get on it. So anyway, CT and Emy win. We've just discussed that. I'm
loving this episode. I don't have to do anything, and I'm just watching you have a breakdown.
I'm so happy I've started drinking now. This is funnier. Well, this is where you have to do some work. So what did you think of this challenge, Levi? You've kind of given us an inkling of what you thought of it, but why don't you expand?
I just watch people use
CT's head.
I just watch people use a dustbuster in the sea and then solve a puzzle that doesn't actually match up. That was it. I feel like the challenge was summed up by Corey and Bettina trying to get a check when they definitely didn't have it. That summed up the whole challenge for me. That was the best part.
Yeah.
I think, though, what I would have liked if they'd have then gone back to them and Corey gone, oh, yeah, these ones don't match up, and Bettina going,
it's been about 3 episodes since we've heard her laugh. I'm actually missing it.
I wonder if that's even her laugh.
So, okay, we're going to finish. Did anyone impress you here?
Yeah, CT, Devin, Amanda. Actually, the honourable mention, Huey and Berna.
Yeah, they did come flying out the gate. Berna has got phenomenal body control. As in, she can... that clip where she spins around the thing for a quick turn back, that's actually why they were in the lead so much at the start, because everyone else has to do it. Yeah, and so she should have phenomenal body control, but I've been a bit of a bastard about her. She gets a little bit of a nice thing there. Pretty obvious answer as well. Whose reputation took a dive here?
Big T. There was someone else that was really, really bad, and I can't remember who it was.
Jeremiah wasn't great at the diving part.
Yeah, he wasn't great. But Yeah. Do you know what we haven't talked about, which I should have done in the nanny rant that I've you made me put in, even though I love nanny and you're the one that hates her. She really struggled when going down. She panics a lot, and it reminded me of the challenge last season where Fessy kicked her in the face.
Oh yeah, the tectonic plate one.
Yeah,
Tectonic.
Is that a real song? Are we allowed to sing?
No, I was copying Amber B, like repeating it 7 times trying to get it. You were singing.
I thought you were just singing tectonic, oh tectonic, oh tectonic, oh tectonic, tectonic, oh tectonic.
Now you're singing a song from Dodgeball, and you should stop it.
Great
film. Absolutely great film.
Duck, dive, dip, dive, duck, dive, dodge, and dodge. Something like
I just love if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. It really hits you in the head with the iron.
I would love, actually, if on the challenge they did a dodgeball as one of the things.
So simple and effective.
Yeah.
It's a very good shout, actually. You know, one of my favorite...
They'd all get to throw balls in each other's faces, which Fessy was doing to all the girls during the season, allegedly.
Do you know one of my favorite challenges that I kind of... it's the first challenge when the champions come on in Invasion. And it's basically, it's 4-on-6 rugby, already quite exciting. What do they add to this? A sodding trebuchet for TJ to launch the balls in. It's just like, why did you need that? I'm very happy they had it.
And I love that when the underdogs win, they act like they've literally just overcome the odds, and they've literally just beaten like 4 people when there's like 12 of them.
6, but still.
Every time we get the ball, they're just swarming on us like flies on shit. Whose reputation took a dive? I don't think Big T did herself any favors. I don't think Big T's had the best season this season. She's not had a season like last season where she really kind of shone.
So I was thinking about this. We both thought CT was a bit harsh when he said she wasn't ready to run a final. I think I was very caught up in the moment there, and now I actually am completely on his side, because you're not going to win a final with her. You're also only really going to win a very specific type of challenge, which we can touch on a bit later as well, because Jeremiah actually handles that phrase a lot better than CT did, should we say. But I think I said during the preview thing, Big T is now at a tipping point where her, like, she's wonderful, she's adorable, she's sweet, but I need her to show improvement for me to like her still being on the show at the moment. I think she's still great for confessionals, but there's something missing if we don't see her get better.
I think the other issue with her at the moment as well is, whereas on Double Agents, Total Madness was the cotton pads. On Double Agents, she, like, from a narrative standpoint, she ran the whole season. Like, she was a huge part of the narrative. This one, she's not. She's had the fling with Logan, and that's kind of it.
Yeah. And also, she doesn't strike me as the type of character who would take a back seat. I think they could make her run the season if they wanted to, but she's just not getting the screen time.
I worry for whether or not she's going to end up on the next season, based on what we've seen / not seen this season.
I think they'll still give her another, but if it's another under the radar one, I think Casey will come back despite being under the radar, because she's a very solid competitor.
Yeah.
Big T doesn't have that extra part of her game. But anyway, so CT and Emy win. They have a massive hug. That was really, really sweet. Berna sarcastically congratulates them. That's the side of a villain we need to have her lean into.
Well done.
This bit I thought was really sweet. Emy starts crying, getting emotional again. This one didn't annoy me. CT gives her a big hug and tells her to be cool. Just that was quite a nice way to end the thing. Shows that they've actually got quite a strong partnership here.
I like the way as well you're reading the old running order, not the revised one that I sent to you with the recording pause, where TJ tells us who wins the mission.
Oh, shit.
It's all right. Makes editing much easier for me. Yeah, CT and Emy win. I did like that. I like the, like, she's crying and the be cool bit, and then she's just like, yeah, cool.
I thought I added that back in. Anyway, if you want a recording break, mate, this is my podcast now. If you want a recording pause, tell me, and you can go for a wee. Anyway.
That is behind the scenes shit, George. Not shit, That's behind the scenes stuff there.
Damn it, that was going to be my joke. Tell you who might like
we
a
are
recording.
one brain.
Tell you who might like a recording pause. Kyle, because we get back to the house and he yawns for about 30 seconds while talking to Nelson.
He's so tired. Do you know, I think like being in the water makes people tired. I'm always tired after swimming.
Yeah, fair.
Because you get the water in your eyes as well.
But they weren't swimming. They were on badass jet skis.
But the water was in the eyes. Well, no, they were wearing goggles.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I didn't quite understand that. It was like, what are we doing tonight? And Nelson was like, we're going now. We're popping bottles. We're turning left at the next junction. And then...
Nice. Sorry, I had no idea what you were throwing back to there. That was really good.
And then he goes, yeah, but everyone's really tired. And then Kyle yawns. And then they all went out. I didn't really understand what was going on there. I thought it was going to be like, we're not going out because everyone's tired.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, do you know what time it is? Let's see if we can do it while I'm in charge. Okay. Follow my fingers. 3, 2, 1. Club night!
Club night! I fucked up on purpose because of your introduction to that. Let's see if we can do it when I'm in charge. Club night, club night, club night.
That's also fair. Anyway, so we get one of those classic montages at the start of club night. There's some very aggressive twerking by Tori going on. More on that later.
She pulls weird faces when she dances.
Yeah, like kind of psychotic. Do you think Emmanuel's already turned her into a vampire?
He's given her a certain little love bite, probably.
Huey and Berna talk strategy, and they obviously know they're going in, but I quite like what Huey says here. As long as we behave like we did on the daily and leave it all out there, we can be proud. The game is now really, really starting. Slightly aggressive comment there from Huey is that he's willing to break his own neck to win. I do quite like how passionate Huey is, though.
Do you know what I like? You know how we always talk about we like people who are self-aware? I think he's self-aware in that he knows what his limitations are in the game. But the one thing that he has in absolute bucket loads is heart.
And
no, I'm not. Oh my god! Well, we'll talk about that later. But no, he's got like so much heart, and I think he knows that it's like with the elimination against Corey Lay. He knows that if he really, really puts his heart into it, he can do it, and I think that gave him loads of confidence. I think as well, he's got that Big T situation that everyone loves him in the house. And also, I think a lot of people online love him as well. But everyone in the house loves him. And I think for him, it's been like a really nice thing of I can do all these things. And even if I'm not the best at them, I'm going to put my all into them. And yeah, I really, really love Huey. And, you know, not just because we've had him on the podcast and we've been chatting to him and stuff, but I love his attitude to the game.
Yeah, I think it's a very, very fair point. He adds something that I think has been missing quite a lot in previous seasons. But someone else is missing something. Jeremiah really needs a strong partner to win. He loves Big T. He's really nice about it, but he knows he's not winning dailies to be safe with her. I quite liked how he said this, to be fair. I completely see his point.
Well, I mean, it's nice of him to join us 8 episodes into the season. But no, I know what you mean. Like, Big T kind of knows what her place is when it comes to these partnerships in the game. And she knows that probably her and Jeremiah aren't the best, but it's not necessarily the fact that he thinks she's weak. But let's say they have a challenge where height, you know, carrying something together on your shoulders is a big thing. They're the worst partnership for that because he's so tall and she's so not tall.
Well, we saw what that would impact last season during the mini final, didn't we? Jay and Teresa, not someone you would pick out to do well there. Similar heights, absolutely smashed it. And then I actually, before we go,
sorry, you just brought back a horrible flashback of Lolo being horrible to Nam.
Actual moment of silence there for Nam.
Moment of silence for Nam. God rest his soul.
Make sure you don't edit this out because that's how you find out where to edit.
Oh yeah.
I actually really, really liked this club night though because it was all strategy talk, which I've missed the last couple of episodes. I actually really enjoyed Priscilla and Jeremiah going, look, we can both win this. We know we need to go in there and do something in the game. The bit I didn't get, apparently Bettina's a beast. Has she pissed off production?
I don't think so, because they're still showing her a lot.
Well, that's the point. If she's a, or is Priscilla just like hyping her up? But we've seen a bit of her this episode. But
a lot of people have said she's a beast. A lot of people have been like, she's really good.
Who else has said that about Bettina?
Corey said it. Nelson said it. But also Corey's her partner and Nelson is Corey's best friend. But I kind of feel like maybe she's just quiet. Maybe she just doesn't really talk much. But
nothing quiet about that.
But back to Priscilla though. Again, it's what I've been saying all season. Priscilla is so clever. She gets the game. She just needs her moment to be able to change things. And she's having these little conversations. She had it with Bettina. She's having it with Jeremiah. Like,
so a couple of episodes ago, we got the silent assassin thing from her, and yours was a bit like, I don't get it. Don't assassins kill people? This episode was very, very silent assassin for her throughout. What we also
it was a 2-episode comment that she was making, and I jumped to conclusions after the first episode. And for that, Priscilla, I apologize.
I actually am sure she would forgive you. She also calls. I like the fact as well. We don't normally see people always understanding like nuances in potential opponents. I mean, she called out here that Huey and Berna work better than expected together, so don't underestimate them. I liked that as well, that she's clearly looking at a lot of different angles there. I might be reading too much into this because Priscilla has jumped up my rankings for people in the season after this episode. I'm not gonna lie.
But can we please I know I keep saying it, but I have been calling it. Haven't I?
You've called it from the start, whereas I've been more like, I don't understand why she's getting so many confessionals. I get it now. I actually have something to discuss that right at the end. But now we get it
right from the start. You'd come and break my heart.
Could you stop trying to get this episode taken down for copyright? I know you're now feeling a bit like that you're not in control. You've asked me to do this. Let me do it. Now, actually, someone else who's asking to be let to do something is Amber, who's slightly hammered and wants to send Berna home herself and be beside Jeremiah in elimination. Amber, please stop it. What are you doing?
What are you doing? Why are you acting like a rookie? You're a champ. Like,
ooh, that's good.
But it's such a like. You're not Corey and Nelson. Like, you hooked up in the house. Like, I don't want to disrespect whatever did or didn't happen with them, because obviously we have, a kind of friendship, so to speak, with Amber. So I don't really want to talk about it too much because she's very happy with the guy that she's with now.
Shocked, by the way. He's gorgeous. It's a fucking mountain. Anyway,
so if he ever came on the challenge, he'd be the new hot guy. But yeah, I don't want to disrespect the relationship.
New hot two guys.
Yeah, I don't want to disrespect the relationship that she's in now, because she's very, very happy. So I don't want to talk too much about like the past relationship that she had on the challenge with Jeremiah. But what a fucking stupid thing to say is all I'll say. Like, hopefully it was the drink talking is all I'll say, because it's a rookie thing to say.
That was 100% the drink talking. But here's a bit that I really enjoyed in this episode is Bettina just gassing her up and going, yeah, you can do that. You can definitely take her out. Why? And it's just like, okay, maybe there is another side to Bettina here, because that's really quite crafty.
Yeah, well, if Amber throws herself in, Bettina gets off scot-free.
Does indeed. But I just thought
Bettina will be laughing.
Well done. That was very, very nicely stacked up. But I enjoyed seeing that side of her. That show, like, I think Alan Aguirre calls it out really, really well. Says he's watched the previous shows Bettina have been on, and she is incredibly charming and very, very good at getting what she wants on those. So
I'm sure he told us that she, on Paradise Hotel Sweden or something, she walked into a room full of guys and got naked and said, "I'm not leaving till one of you has sex with me."
Yeah, he also called that out in his preview article about her. It was interesting. But also, apparently in that situation, she got what she wanted. And here she almost gets what she wanted. I've also written Tori is twerking again. I don't know why we had to see that 3 times.
Literally don't care about Tori twerking.
Very,
Weird
very
facial expressions.
Very, very jarring. Please stop doing that, Levi. Um, Now, this is when things got a bit more interesting. So you had Amber speaking about game to Casey and Josh. She tells him she wants to go into elimination. I actually liked the fact that Casey then tells her to go and sleep on it. Josh then tells her to sleep on it with a really big hand on her knee.
Yeah, I found that creepy.
Okay, good. I'm glad I wasn't the only one. But interesting bit here. One, is Amber back in their good books? And two, Casey then does quite an animated confessional, which I was like, okay, a bit taken aback there about how Amber will regret this tomorrow. What are you doing? Calm down, shut up. Is Amber in the Big Brother Alliance now because they've lost Fessy and need an extra number?
I think this sounds horrible, but I think they just feel a bit bad on her and they're looking after their drunk friend.
Okay.
But I just like, what are you doing, Amber? This was not a good club night for her as far as her game decisions.
I think the problem is you've summed it up perfectly, and it is it was a series, well, not a series, it was one big rookie move done to multiple people. And it made me a bit like, we had that weird conversation about what makes you a vet, and Amber, and one of your things was that if you're a champ on your first season, you automatically become one. This was not vet behavior.
No, this was vodka behavior, George, which you are quite a fay with, but not as a fay as you are with gin behavior. And vino behavior, lads.
So it's a lovely Rioja evening today, actually.
But yeah, so not a great club night for Amber, let's just say.
No. But I'm sure she's got many good club nights to come. So I think now we get a nice little segue into some nominations. So Casey thinks Amber will regret this tomorrow, but it is now tomorrow and we're at nominations. So interestingly, we get Huey opening the talk saying he's built friendships here and is not snaky and wants a fair shot.
Fair shot though. Is he saying he wants a fair shot of please don't put us in, or is he saying I want a fair shot of just tell us that we're going in and let us pick who we go against?
So I think it's the latter. Him and Berna, I think in club night were very much that like we're going in, it's fine. I think they want someone. I think what he's banking on there is that the house likes him and will give him someone he wants. And Huey seems quite friendly with people. Do you think that's what he was after?
Yes.
Good insight, Levi. You know who? Well, Corey is also quite proud of the vets and how they're running the game. I mean, yeah, fair. You don't have much like opposition though. Your main one went out week 2.
I don't feel like Corey's doing much. He's not winning any challenges.
I can't actually remember him doing anything in any daily challenge at the moment.
Well, he lied and said that him and Bettina were strong. Like, yeah, but is that his game? Be in the Vets Alliance, stay under the radar, don't make any enemies. When the Vet Bloodbath starts, that's when you start playing. Because if it is, a very good game. Well,
it's kind of what he did last year, right? Last season, sorry. It was under. I don't think anyone was under the radar more than him in Double Agent.
He did it in Total Madness as well, to be fair.
Except for Michi.
Oh, Michi, good old Michi. I wonder what he's up to nowadays.
He's actually still finishing that slider puzzle.
He lost to Josh in elimination. What a moron. Oh, I miss Michi. They should bring him back.
You know who else is a moron? Berna.
She's not. I like Berna. I just think that she's made some questionable comments and judgment calls and decisions over the last 3 episodes.
Yeah, but to be fair, which of us haven't done that? Sometimes when I listen back for our pod, I just think, God, I was being an arsehole there. That's been like literally the last 42 episodes, and we've only done 38. Anyway.
Specifically the one where you and Brian were horrible to me.
Horrible to you?
Come on, hot guy of the podcast, carry on.
Hot host of the podcast, you young man.
I wonder who'll be hosting next week.
I actually look quite shit today, and your beard looks really nice. So you can have hot dry at the pod.
You're the second person to say that to me today, and I haven't touched my beard for about 3 weeks, so I still need to get rid of these bits.
Yeah, I don't know. Fucking hell, sorry. This is terrible content for the listeners. But I don't know. I like
the viewers, it's wonderful.
Oh, yeah, because he's got a great beard. The colour contrast, I think, quite suits you. Makes you look a bit like a lion.
I've got every colour under the sun in my beard.
Yeah, the purple is a particular favourite of mine.
Yeah, but no, like there's no like red nose that goes with it. Anyway, carry on. Speak of the red nose, let's go back to the clown.
So she says she's not angry about Emy and CT. She's shocked she was lied to, and legitimately says the word, "It's not nice being blindsided." Does no one here have a sense of irony?
Fucking get over it. Like, it's a game.
Yeah, and then this was said directly to Emy, right? One, actually, Berna knows she's going in, so she can have that free hit. That's fine. But you kind of touched on this earlier. How close do we think that Emy and Berna actually were?
They were sisters. They were sisters for 3 weeks. Sisters.
The only thing I do have a bit of defense for this for is on the Bananas podcast. He does talk about how living in this house is like being in a pressure cooker. It escalates every friendship and then every backstab. That's a kind of where I can potentially put this into context. But the main one I've got is the hypocrisy of being annoyed about being blindsided and telling Amber to shut up about it.
They don't even live in the same country. They weren't even going to hang out afterwards.
Well, Tori's been visiting Emmanuel in Romania.
Yeah, well, we know why that is.
Was that a clown nose, or was it meant to be squeaky bed frame?
Squeaky bed frame, but we can use that soundbite for whatever. Do you know what's great? On Final Cut Pro, you have to pay for these sound effects.
Yeah,
not here. Great. Not when you can get it out of this mouth.
Power couple. Speaking of power couple,
yes,
I like the fact that Emy just goes, "Yeah, I feel bad about Berna. Didn't mean to hurt her, but fuck it, it's just a game." She's
been spending time with Devon.
Yeah, there's a lot of vet attitude coming in here, but
attitude.
I quite like attitude, but Amber then pipes up and kind of puts her point across, which I think is fair. It's calling out Berna for being a hypocrite. And then Berna just cuts in with, "I don't want to hear any more Amber stories from last season." And she just says that she doesn't like her and that she's got no time for Amber's shit. Now, this is where yes, I love Amber, but I actually never mind anyone just categorically saying, "Look, I just don't like you. It's fine, get over it. Not everyone has to like you." And this is kind of the first point. It was like, fair enough, Berna. At least you're standing by your guns in front of someone. Whereas before, it's always been behind the back. And this I actually preferred.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's like, I agree with you. I think if you don't like, but I also think if you don't like someone, just ignore them. Don't make catty comments about them. Don't make catty comments to them. Just act like they don't exist. That's my opinion. And now you're pretending that you don't like me by acting like that. But you have already told me during one of the recording breaks I'm invited to your birthday party, and you said it on one of the podcasts. So you do like me. We're real friends.
I can't wait for the podcast post my birthday. That is going to be full of that. That might just be one banter segment.
Let's do it the next day.
Let's do it during.
We could record clips during.
Oh, that's quite a good idea. You know, I'm going to be dressed as a giant chicken, right?
I was unaware of this. Do we have to dress up?
You can dress up as you want, but my friend's going as Peter Griffin, and we're just going to fight the entire time like they do in Family Guy. Other people will get that challenge. Other people get that reference. I would explain the game to you on the pod before my birthday because it is quite a good game. Yeah, anyway, so Berna again, no time for Amber's shit. Amber then says that Berna's been rude to everyone in the house and calls her a snob. Berna doesn't know what a snob is. That was quite funny. But have we seen that, or has it just been targeted at Amber?
Well, no one put up their hand and said that's not true. That's all I'll say.
True. Very good point. I didn't think of that.
That is literally all I'll say.
Actually, someone did.
Who?
Nelson did step up and say, "Look, don't bring my relationship into this."
Yeah, but he stepped up for him, not for her.
I like the fact Nelson at least said something, because we said earlier Amber was getting started on by Bessie, Esther. Jeremiah's hooking up with her and said nothing. At least Nelson steps up for people
Yeah, but Jeremiah doesn't tend to say anything anyway, in fairness. Can I also say...
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
Ashley fucking hates those 20 minutes. Doesn't she? It's like TJ's like, you have 20 minutes. And then Ashley goes, for fuck's sake.
We've actually, we're skipping over a couple of bits, but I have generally got written in its running order. Ashley tries to move things along, bit bored.
I just did a classic George. Woo!
You did, because we now come back to someone who we've been hoping gets a bit more screen time. As soon as Nelson starts defending, you get I've never seen Amanda look this gleeful. It's just like, this is awesome. Blow up, friends, hate each other. And then I've just written in the running order, all hail Satan.
Amanda, though, just like, she doesn't give a shit. She doesn't really like anyone. She likes about 2 people, and she just wants everyone to hate each other. And yeah, I love Amanda. I think she's beautiful. I think she's sassy. I love a sassy girl. And I think she's fun. I think deep down she is fun. She got Fessy to do Botox, which I found was quite funny.
I can't believe we couldn't get on the podcast by offering to dress up as horses. That's my favourite idea we've ever had.
She unfortunately doesn't do podcasts, probably because she does her own Instagram lives that get about 1 million views, and everyone talks about them. Also, by the way, did you love at the beginning when they all sat down and then TJ came on screen and literally Emy and CT acted like they were so shocked that they were like, whoa, there he is.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose they got an episode break in between the last one because they split it into 2. That's how it works, right? Anyway, this bit I really enjoyed. So Priscilla starts to speak up, and then just Ed, out of nowhere, just shouts at the top of his voice, "Yeah, Priscilla." Is he just like, oh, I haven't said anything for a while, I've got a bit of pent-up energy, this is going to be my time to shine?
I think that the 5-hour power kicked in. At that moment.
We said it was 5-year.
Well, no, we said we want him to create a 5-year, but realistically, it's not out yet.
I actually really, really enjoyed this bit, though, that Priscilla very calmly just pipes up and says she's heard Amber wants to go in.
Okay, so Amber only told Bettina and the Big Brother Alliance. Bettina obviously grassed her up.
I agree. I thought it had to be Bettina.
Do you reckon Bettina laughed about it after she did it? I don't know if you can notice, but my walls are closing in on me.
You look very uncomfortable.
The wall keeps coming down, and I keep having to push it back up. Basically, I'm really sad I'm not back in my flat yet, so I've got a green screen, so I put a flat on behind it. But the green screen keeps falling on my head. To
be fair, you're
happy podcast day!
Oh my God, this is the shittest production value of all time. Your room is literally falling apart. Someone who isn't falling apart, though, Priscilla.
Nice.
Thank you. Amber starts to pipe up and say to Priscilla, look, no, I didn't say that. Well, sorry, Amber, we love you. She did. And Priscilla just very calmly goes, I don't need that attitude. Quite enjoyed that.
Priscilla's fucking brilliant. I've said it for ages. She's so good.
I think in terms of one episode uptick, the best change in opinion after one episode this season is either Gabbo or her this one.
For you, because let's just say I didn't change my opinion of Priscilla because I always thought she was fucking epic.
Very, very good point. Anyway, glossing over the bit where I'm wrong. I've been wrong a lot this season. Maybe we just take
it's like me last season.
Yeah.
We flipped in many ways.
Changed jobs, changed brain power. Oh, God.
Not changed back to my original apartment yet, though. Green screen stopped falling on my head, though, so that's a bonus.
That is a bit of a bonus. Then we get a nice CT Boston mumble. When you're the agency, we have to think about who we want to pick. Can you do it? You're better than me.
Boston.
That is your standard one. Yeah, I actually don't think he does. So he's got very clear choices. It's almost down to the rookies who haven't been in yet. It's the easiest choice in the world. Anyway,
I do feel like he was hoping Amber would have gone, yeah, I do want to go in. At which point it's like, okay, well, I can definitely put Amber in and not have blood on my hands. And
or
then
same way he got
obviously,
blood off his. Sorry.
I was going to say, and then obviously Jeremiah suddenly was like, yeah, I'll go down.
So I know we've joked about Jeremiah not talking this season, but wherever he's had to go down, every time he's just gone, yeah, if I go in, I go in. Let's see what happens.
He's just happy to be there.
I quite like that quiet confidence he's got. I don't think it's a strategy. I just think that's who he is. But he says he needs to go down and pick a better partner. I see his point.
Yeah, I need to go down and pick a better partner. No offense, Big T.
Yeah. Emmanuel then says to Jeremiah, don't pick Casey or I'll drink your blood. It's really leaning into the whole vampire vibe, but I quite enjoyed that. And
well, we all know that Count Dracula is the second biggest Romanian rapper after Emy Lupe. We discussed that the other week, didn't we?
I can't believe I believed you that it was Count Dracula. But is it Kyle at this point who shouts, calm down, Dracula?
I don't even remember.
No,
it was a very long deliberation. I felt like Ashley in it.
Yeah, fair. But then Bettina basically just says, no, when asked who she'll take. Enjoyed that, not giving away any information. Then this bit is where it gets interesting. So I'm going to do these next three bits together. I want to know whether you think it's a good idea for the vets to have said this.
Okay.
Tori tries to get them to create another rookie pair to protect the vets. Ashley threatens people that if they do pick a vet team, they'll become a new target. And then you just get a very cool confessional from Priscilla at the end, which is, I'm going to address this moment. Really, really enjoyed that. What do you thoughts on this bit? Tori and Ashley, did they do the right thing?
So the comment that she made of, if any of the rookies pick a vet team, then they're going to become a new target. They're already the fucking target.
No, they're not. I think because they say if a rookie picks a vet team, there's obviously loads of other rookies to pick, but that rookie is going in.
So hold on a second. Who are the vet teams? Kyle and Amanda, Ashley and Josh. Is there one more?
I think there is one more, but I can't remember who it is.
No, me neither. I can't remember who it is. Keep posting. I'll Google.
Okay, cool. So,
also, yeah, fair play on Priscilla. Fucking genius. Love her. She's literally been one of my favorites this season when she hardly said anything. Now she's fucking saying shit. I love her.
Can you hold this? Because I have got like an entire section at the end dedicated to that. Damn it, yes. Levi, spoilers, you absolute penis.
Not spoilers, you mean podcast spoilers as opposed to real spoilers. Let's not get people switching off. We probably already have.
I know of at least one. Yeah, I would have switched it off as soon as I realised I was hosting, but I have to host it. So, okay, I'll give you my thoughts here because there's been a couple of interesting things on the Reddit here, which is they think Tori and Ashley have been prodded by production into making this comment to make sure that a rookie absolutely picks a vet pair.
Devon and Amber.
Nice, thank you. Well done. Good Googling in the background, Levi. That's why you're my co-host.
Oh, yeah, Brits.
Nice.
Our podcast.
Now, do you think Tori and Ashley made the right decision here to make that threat really clear, or should they have just been quiet?
I didn't really understand what was going on, I'll be honest. I think Ashley was just saying, please don't pick us. Because I didn't really understand whether it was... Yeah, I just didn't get it. Because in my head, I was like, there's enough rookies to vote for a vet pair. Like I said, there's enough to vote for a vet pair and you're already the targets. So I don't know. But what Ashley then did was she does this a lot just by piping up. She just puts a target on herself. And then she wonders why people vote her in when she eventually gets voted in.
Yeah, I mean, also, I think if I was a vet at this point, I wouldn't be the one to speak up first anyway. Because
not when the bloodbath is incoming.
Exactly. You don't. This is by far the worst time to draw attention to yourself as a vet. As rookies, you've got a free ride. I think most of the rookies who've made it this far are probably okay with coming. They're probably at least on the radar to come back for another season. It's now the vets. Like, you don't want to be the first vet.
Tom Daly. Oh, the stands hate me. They hate me.
Are you actually getting comments about your Tom Daly rant?
My friend who likes Tom Daly messaged me. Not any other Tom Daly people, just my friend who likes Tom Daly. Anyway, carry on. This is an 8-hour podcast at this stage.
Yeah, good point, actually. Anyway, so voting happens. Everyone cover your screen. That's fucking pointless because everyone votes for Huey and Berna.
Including Huey and Berna.
Yeah, they're just accepting their fate. Anyway.
We're resigned.
So we find out Huey and Berna are the houseboat. Huey is surprised. He's not. Everyone knew it was happening. Anyway, you actually get quite a nice scene later that day where Devon and Huey are chatting. Devon says he has a scatterbrain and that Huey just needs to control himself and think in his liberation. And then we get, I don't know why this always lands with me. Huey needs the money to be a dad. I actually think out of everyone who says, I need the money to do this, like, you read it, I need it for my family. Cam wanted to start 6 or 7 different charities, I think I remembered her saying, for her challenge career, actually. I actually think Huey's is the nicest real reason.
Yeah. Well, it's obviously Huey's gay, and therefore, unless he wanted to have a surrogate who was a friend who would then be involved or wouldn't be involved, and it might end up being a bit awkward, he has to go through that kind of IVF surrogacy route. Obviously, I don't know enough about that, so I'm not going to go into that. But what we do know is obviously that's quite expensive. And Huey was very genuine about that. And I think for a lot of, both men and women, well, one of the big things that they just always want to be when they grow up is a parent.
Yeah.
And obviously, you can do that if you're in a same-sex relationship or if you're gay or if you're trans or if you're not in what people would deem, male, female, straight relationship. And I think it's great that people can do that now. And for Huey I think Huey's done a lot of things in this season where he's discussed how it feels to be gay and some of the struggles that he's had and some of the hurdles and some of the barriers that he needs to overcome. And I think it's really lovely that he's saying, he wants to be a dad. He knows it's expensive, but it's something that he always wants to do. And I think Huey will be a great dad. And, regardless of whether he wins the challenge or not, I really hope that it happens for him. And I think it would be really lovely.
1, I completely agree. 2, that was beautifully put. 3, can you imagine Huey's toddler ranting at someone on the playground?
Could you imagine if Huey's toddler did something naughty and Huey yelling at the toddler?
Oh my God,
Why the fuck you do that? Why the fuck you do that? You're embarrassing me. You're embarrassing me. You're embarrassing your father. You're embarrassing your father. When I was young, I didn't behave like that. Go to your room. Go to your room.
I behave like that now, though.
Yeah, behave like that now. Come back down. Come back down. Daddy loves you.
And then from what's potentially the best reason to win, one of the weirdest reasons to win, that Bettina is doing this for every small town girl, clearly a Journey fan. Anyway.
Small town girl.
Living
in a Copenhagen. That's not... is that in Sweden? Did I get that wrong? That's in Norway. Just a small town girl living in Stockholm, Sweden.
That's better. Anyway.
She knows Sven and Ulrika because they're from Sweden too.
Copyright. Stop it.
Yep. She loves Zlatan.
So, I hope you enjoyed Levi's Swedish impression of Don't Stop Believing by Journey. The real line
she shops in IKEA.
Anyway, no.
She got some asphalt drawers and she flat packed them together. I love Bettina. I think she's cute.
She is cute.
She's cute but filthy.
Just so you know, the real lyrics to that song are "Living in a Lonely World." And you know what else is a lonely world, Levi? It's being down in the lair, where all where all the contestants are now heading to the elimination, where we arrive and the agency have to pick the 2 probably going to be rookies. I think it might be rookies to go in and face Huey and Berna. So
what gives that away? Maybe the last 7 episodes.
So why don't we go to the agency, our couple, and see who they pick to face Huey and Berna? So Jeremiah and Priscilla, are you as shocked as I am?
No. Move
Cool,
on.
awesome. Let's move. Damn it, that's my job. But Berna wanted Amber. I'm not going to ask you what you think about this decision, but I quite like this little exchange. TJ, once again, all rookies down here. Kyle stage whispers, "Shh, don't say that."
I love the K-Dog.
But we see that there are two massive polls in the middle of the elimination area.
Oh, what are the Redditors voting for? Thank you.
Gabbo is their favourite poll. Oh, tenuous. Racist. Anyway, I'm not going to go to TJ. I'm not going to go to TJ.
Oh, I get it, because he's Polish. He's Bulgarian.
Is Gabbo Bulgarian?
Yeah, he's just on Warsaw Shore.
Oh, shit. Sorry. Anyway,
in the same way that there's a lad from like Leeds or something on Geordie Shore. Doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. Anyway, I'm not going to go to TJ to explain this. Currently, we are going. Mainly, I want to save you editing, mate. I've already rambled on long enough. I don't need to stay up any longer. I am a good friend, shit host, good friend. Anyway, so here we're playing. Happy Podcast Day.
Happy International Podcast Day, lads.
Anyway, here we are playing Race to Escape, and now there are two large poles in the arena. Contestants are tied together back to back, have to climb the pole using what I think are increasingly smaller steps, and then cut their ropes on a blade at the top of the massive pole. Cool. And then slide down a zip line. Nice. First one wins. No shit. So
can I just say, this one really gave me vibes of one of the eliminations that we see most seasons. It very much reminded me of Hall Brawl. It's banter from last week, left over from the old running order.
I was going to see, did I leave that in there anywhere? Because I made quite a lot of efforts to cut that bit out so you couldn't be a douche about it. Anyway, Nelson has a quick confessional here. He said he wants Berna to send his current partner packing. Although I think there's a big but that she can achieve that. Now on to Huey's big but.
Can I just say about Nelson with all the stuff like I really like Berna? I can't imagine the two of them having an actual conversation.
No, I imagine it'd be quite asinine.
Yeah, nice. But do you know what I mean? Like, genuinely, he doesn't. I'm not going to speak for him, but he probably shagged Ashley as soon as she was gone.
Are you making a massive assumption there?
Very nice. But the thing is, can I just say something, actually? I didn't mention it, but one of the things that I thought when they were doing the mission was in the shorts, I was like, Huey has a massive ass. And then it was really random that I thought that. And then what happened later in the elimination happened. Why don't we talk about it?
Sure, we can get to the bottom of the issue here if you want. I'm actually making these all up off the top of my head.
Oh my god. Oh. Yeah, no, you're being a bit cheeky now. No, come on. Go on, Josh. Be professional here. You're the host of this shit.
Sorry, you spent 25 minutes last season reading out a Burger King menu.
Oh fuck yeah, I did. Oh, that was great, wasn't it?
That was when
I then went to Burger King, gave me the shit. Anyway. Let's go. Anyway, home straight.
So, from one shit producer to Huey's shit producer, his arsehole. So, I mean, that was kind of a standout moment. That I thought Jeremiah and Priscilla were really good. They literally fly up the pole. Obviously, Huey and Berna are really struggling. They start off quite well. You think Berna would be good at this from her background in the circus. Kyle calls out, but he's at... Nice. So Kyle is surprised that Jeremiah and Priscilla are not setting the pole on fire. They're that quick at going up it. Nice little friction burn joke. Emy wants Berna to go home. And then we do actually get to the Huey bit here. Everyone's giggling like a child. I do like the fact Huey was self-aware enough to go with the disaster line here. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. But then it ends like you expect. There's a bit of a break where they say Jeremiah and Priscilla are at the top, but they're having trouble with the blade. Berna and Huey are catching up. They fucking weren't. They were nowhere near. That was really dodgy editing.
Greatest line of this elimination was Huey. You're slicing my finger. This was dangerous as fuck. You've got two people who can't balance, who are panicking and racing, trying to move their hands for a rope that's about less than a foot long on a fucking sharp axe. I'm genuinely surprised no one's finger came off.
But have you not read Schmalvy's top 10 things about the episode review yet on Reddit?
I literally watched the episode an hour before we recorded.
So apparently one of the people who tested the elimination very nearly went through their entire finger. They had to go to the hospital and get it reattached. And
they said, oh, that's safe. Let's do it.
Damn it. You meant to be really surprised there. That was my effort to try and trick you like everyone else.
Oh, was that a lie?
That was a lie.
Classic George.
No, classic Levi. Oh, wait, I'm Levi today.
I love that you've just turned into me.
Well, I can't do accents and I have no facial hair.
Neither can I just do them.
Anyway, I think there were some good standout moments from the crowd in this, but what did you think of his elimination? Do you want to see it back?
I liked it. I like that they had to use teamwork. I'd like it if there was less element of severing at the end. But as far as like having to climb up the pole backwards, I thought was really cool, having to do the tension. I would have liked the pole to be higher, if possible, in future. And yeah, find some way for it to be a bit more safe at the top of the axe. And then the zip line, did you not find? Yeah, I'm thinking that. I also found the zip line at the end. One, they went down very slowly. Two, wasn't long enough. Three, they should have had to ring the bell after they got down the zip line.
Yeah, good point. Okay, I like your changes.
But in general, very much liked it, but would be better with my changes.
You know what else would be better with some changes? This podcast, if you were hosting.
Hold on, I'm trying to work out what you meant there.
I'm a shit host, and you're really
good. I thought you meant if we changed it so I was never hosting again.
Oh no, absolutely not. No. I don't ever want to do this again. This is really hard.
Well, you'll have to do it on the 30th of September 2022 as we celebrate once again International Podcast Day.
I'm okay with this being an annual tradition.
Nice.
Maybe twice, maybe once a season.
No.
Anyway. No, fair enough. It's actually too painful. Anyway. This was legitimately the first time we actually got a view of Priscilla's and Jeremiah's physical talents. Were you, for a physical point alone, are you more impressed by them? Has your opinion changed of them at all? So
I'll start with Jeremiah. Jeremiah is an absolute unit. He is built. He's a quiet guy. But yeah, he was very good. I actually didn't expect him to do as well on this as he did because I thought he's carrying quite a lot of muscle. It might be harder. Priscilla, I just think is fucking brilliant. Like, I cannot say a bad word about her. I think she's incredible. And also, I'm trying to do their dance. I'm not dancing as they are.
I really want the green screen to fall over and hit you on the head right now.
No, I think I propped it. Up enough.
Perfect. And then
I'm just bored of my plain white wall.
I know there's an obvious answer. There's an obvious answer here. It doesn't really work. What were your thoughts of Berna and Huey's performance?
They put their back into it, which I thought was good. I think ultimately they started at the bottom. They got to the top. I would ask them some questions about their strategy in future. I just think ultimately the poll wasn't ready for this jelly. But do you know what? They tried really hard. I think Berna did a great job because she literally had to haul Huey's ass up there.
And nice.
I don't know. I wonder if Huey had a smaller arse, what would have happened? But we will never know. And do you know what, Huey? Never change. You got a wonderful arse.
Yeah. To quote Devin from the preview clips, Huey is carrying an absolute wagon. He's pretty. I love Devin so much. I think that's fair. I do have one question. So I weirdly noticed during the daily, Priscilla has got like the longest legs ever. I think they're actually almost the same length as Jeremiah's. That would have absolutely made this so easy for them because they'd never be at the absolute extent of their their leg extensions. So you can obviously get more power behind it. But if Berna was with, say, even a middle of the road competitor who was a bit taller and didn't have a giant ass, do you think she would have beaten them?
I don't know, because Priscilla said on the Challenge Aftermath with the
wonderful Devin Simone,
that her and Jeremiah realized that actually it was about two things. It was about, one, making sure there was no slack on the rope, and two, about getting a rhythm together. So they were literally going up, going left, and both doing left, right, and they just had it. The only bit that they struggled with, according to the edit, was not sawing their hands off. I don't know. I think potentially, but it depends. I don't know how good Berna is really at working with others.
Okay, Berna CT versus Priscilla Jeremiah. Who takes it?
Priscilla Jeremiah.
That is big from you. Fair enough. And
I'll say why, because I love CT. I think they would both try and take control of the situation. They get frustrated with each other. Huge height differential.
Is CT that much taller than Berna?
Berna's like 5'8". CT's like 6'2".
CT is not 6'2". He's 6 foot.
Okay, well, 4 inches. And also his hair at the moment, without there, would be doing the Huey arse roll.
Yeah, well, that's why I claim I'm 6 foot. Oh my God. Okay, fair enough. Sorry.
That's why I have the flicky.
Me and Levi were comparing hair lengths there, nothing else.
I can't get to the hairdresser because I don't have enough petrol.
Anyway, enough about the petrol crisis. So after the elimination, we see Jeremiah and Priscilla being very, very happy they won, do a little dance, quite lovely, but I didn't get much out of their interview that I expected. Amber's happy Berna's gone. Energy in the house will be better. I think fair, they clashed. But this I actually liked. There's a couple of older seasons when people are hooking up and someone gets eliminated and they don't say bye. Nelson jumps down and says bye to Berna. It's quite lovely to see.
I got a drink at that point and actually didn't know that happened.
Well, the main ones that jumps out is like Jordan leaves when he's dating Laurel on Free Agents, doesn't say bye. There's like 2 or 3 other quite big examples, but Nelson does that. Good for him. Anyway, this leaves Priscilla and Jeremiah with a choice to make.
Esther didn't say bye to Josh.
Yeah, she was too busy like threatening to cut out part of Amber, the psycho.
I want blood.
Pound of flesh. Shakespeare quote.
That was it. To be or not to be, that is the question.
The Merchant of Venice.
Brilliant. Okay, come on, let's get to the bottom of this.
Damn it. Anyway, I fucked up the last one, so I'm going to hand back over to my actual very good friend. He follows us now. TJ, to introduce us to who picks who for the partners. So we end up with Priscilla saying, "Let the games begin." And as a viewer, I really hope it's a better game. Priscilla picks Josh. Good decision.
No.
Do you care to expand?
Yes.
Like Huey's ass.
Okay. What she was doing, great decision. The one that she picks, bad decision. So
is that because it's Josh, or because it's against Ashley?
Because it's Josh. Okay. What she should have done, in my opinion, was go for Kyle.
Guarantee you're not the housewife, basically.
Yeah. Because, or Devin. I would have gone for Kyle or Devin, not because we're Kyle and Devin biased. I just think Josh plays the game very emotionally. Yeah. I completely understand what she's doing. She's breaking up, and I think the concept of what she did, fucking genius. I love you, Priscilla, for this. You've sorted out the game now, so I can start enjoying the show. But what she has now done is she split a vet team. There were 3 vet teams to choose from. I personally don't think Josh is the strongest of the boys in the 3 vet teams. I think Kyle is the strongest as far as ability. I think Devin is the strongest as far as strategy. That's why I would have gone for one of those 2. However, I think the reason that she went for Josh over Kyle or Devin was simply a fuck you to Ashley to say, I'm not scared of you and I'm running the game now. And fuck me, Priscilla from the UK, you have fixed this season. Because in doing what she did, she basically has now guaranteed that we have no rookie teams, unless Jeremiah was fucking stupid and went and picked another rookie. And
that would have been so annoying.
What I thought what they were going to do is I thought she was going to pick someone, break up one of the vet teams, and then he was going to break up one of the vet teams, but that's not how it worked. But yeah, I think a genius, and it's what I've said for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I know that I keep going on about it, but she's flown so under the radar, but I've seen it. It's like, again, here we go, football reference, when Alex Ferguson scouted an 18-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo. He wasn't the finished product, no, he wasn't, but there were glimpses that Sir Alex Ferguson saw of him to bring him to Manchester United, and now look at him. I saw glimpses of genius in Priscilla. I saw glimpses of game understanding. I saw glimpses of physical gameplay. And really what I ultimately saw was just another Brit that we could be biased about. And she has on this episode, not just delivered, she's delivered ... and more. Thank you, Priscilla. Or should I say, thank you, Priscilla, the legend. I don't know what just happened. I've lost the plot. We're about 3 hours into this record.
I really enjoyed that. We're not, actually. Anyway.
Aren't we? Oh, 2.5.
Yeah. It's a bit long, but it was a good episode, to be fair. A lot's happened this time.
Yeah.
CT agrees with you. Calls it a very good game move. Strong. Ashley says she's coming from Priscilla. I chucked this up on the Reddit today when I finished the episode, saying I had to blank it out. Thank you, Natty, for stopping me spoiling people. You're a very, very good mod. One of the nicest. But we love all the mods. Anyway, saying blank. Is this why Priscilla has had so much screen time throughout this season? Because they've been building up her character despite her not having any big game moments, because we need to at least know who she is before she pulls off this absolute game-changing move. Yeah?
That makes sense.
I actually believe that, but the discussion after really took me by surprise. A lot of people are saying this isn't a game-changing move. They don't see the game shaken up. I was like, I don't really understand where they're coming from, because every other rookie, Emy has had this chance twice. Huey's had this chance. Logan had it as well.
Everyone's had this chance.
Not quite. Whenever there were other 3 rookie pairs who didn't, but I think they're the 3.
I think the reason that people might be saying it doesn't change the game is because what they might be saying is people are still going to vote in the rookies in the power couple vote. But where it changes things is that instead of previously where it was always going to be 4 rookies, it's now going to be at least 1 vet and the rest rookies. But this is the other situation, is that now that it's not the rookies just sitting back and taking it, they can now go, do you know what? Let's not just do what our vet partner says when it comes to voting in if we're the agency. Let's try and do something else. So I think it massively does change up the game.
I completely agree. And also I'm a bit with you. It's still a season of the challenge. I love it. I'm going to watch. I needed this to happen at least this week. I could have tolerated one more. I really, really needed this. all likelihood, a veteran rookie will go in next episode against rookie, and the vet rookie will probably win because they've already been working together. But
them vet rookies are still going to have to go in.
Potentially, they could then create another rookie. But
no, they couldn't, because
did they not?
I don't think so, because for the simple fact that a vet will then pick.
Say Logan and Nanny go in next week. No idea why I picked Nanny. Because you hate her. Probably you want to see again.
You hate
Logan and Nanny go in and against a rookie, and they win and want to go home.
Okay, so let's say Logan and Nanny go in against Emy and give me another guy.
Jeremiah.
Ed.
Ed, yeah.
Okay, so that would then mean that if Emy and Ed go home, CT and Tori become partners. Yeah?
Yeah, true.
Okay. And then we got Logan and Nanny. They will either stay together. So we still don't have a rookie team, or Logan will pick someone. He's not going to pick a rookie because he's not an idiot. Yeah. So let's say Logan picks.
Well, what if
let's say Logan picks Casey. Okay. So then Emmanuel is free. Let's say Nanny then picks. Basically, I've forgotten all the names, but the way that the maths works is I don't think a rookie team can be made up, because what you're left over with is 2 leftover vets from the eliminated rookies who then become a team themselves.
Shit.
And the rookie isn't going to pick the rookie, and the vet's not going to pick a rookie. So there's no possible way now at this point that you can end up with rookie teams again.
That was fantastic wargaming. Unless they potentially pick one of each, and the vet picks a rookie.
Oh no, hold on. The only way you can end up with a rookie team again is if the 2 rookies win, and then they both pick a vet, which would then leave 2 rookies. But at this stage, are the rookies not like, okay, we see it now. We've got to a position where we don't have any rookies. Let's not fuck this up for ourselves. I feel like they will fuck it up for themselves.
I definitely will, because I can imagine Priscilla going, pick them.
Yeah.
But that was very, very good wargaming. I enjoyed that.
Okay.
Anyway.
You'd be the brawn, I'd be the brains if we were on a challenge team together.
I'm smart at some things. Not hosting, but some things.
No, but you'd get drunk with everyone whilst I do the IT in the corner with Devon.
I want to get drunk with Devon.
No, you get drunk with Kyle. You become best friends with Kyle. I'll get drunk with Devon. You pull all the birds. I'll work out the strategy for us. Smashed it.
You have a way better game than I do.
Let's not go into that. You're the hot one of the podcast. What happened next? Who did Jeremiah pick? Because I keep forgetting he's on the show.
Jeremiah picked Tori, but was considering Casey. I think he made the wrong decision there.
I don't, for the simple fact that he picks Casey. He's got Emmanuel as an enemy. Emmanuel is very likely to win a daily, regardless of who he goes against.
Is Ed not likely to win a daily? He's already done it.
But Ed isn't going to take it. Ed's there to have fun. Emmanuel's going to be like, you've taken my golden ticket. So if I win with whoever I'm with, you're going in.
He's also legitimately threatening to drink people's blood all episode.
Exactly.
I wouldn't want to be the guinea pig for that. Anyway, Kyle, end of the episode.
Well, hold on. This is where I got the maths wrong, because I got really excited because I started laughing. I was like, oh, hold on. Ashley and Nelson are free, which means they're going to get paired up even though they hate each other. But they'll probably shag each other and have hate sex. But that's not how it worked in the end. It basically worked out that Nelson and Big T got paired up because their partners were the ones that had left them, which then meant the leftovers, which is Ashley, because her partner got stolen, and Ed ended up together.
It's quite a good team, actually.
Yeah.
Ashley and Ed's good. Nelson, Big T, not great.
No.
But Ashley and Ed, I actually can see winning another daily challenge. So, good analysis. Kyle ends the episode, and we've seen actually the last confessional of every episode has been quite important. Kyle says Priscilla has screwed everything up, and the Vet's war has now begun.
Yes.
So that
fucking get in. I love you, Priscilla.
this is a huge tipping point where this season could go from, to me, it started off really strong, then went like middle of the road. This could now jump it. This is the bit where it gets really interesting.
I'll be honest.
So,
I've said this to you off podcast. I've found this season quite boring, that if we weren't doing a podcast, I probably would have given up on it with the whole rookie situation. Now I'm back in. I'm sold. And do you know who saved the season? Priscilla.
Yeah, I do like Priscilla. I imagine you're going to be sliding into her DMs pretty soon.
Did it earlier. I did. Do you want to know what I said?
Thank God you made me spit out water, not wine. Oh, good.
I said, thank you. You've switched up the game. I've been saying for weeks that you seem to have a great understanding of the game and we need to see more of you. You're fantastic on the show and hopefully we will see more of you going forward. Fingers crossed.
Nice. God, we're going to be so biased about her from now on.
Yes,
anyway,
we are.
So let's play.
She's our new female UK because Big T's been quiet this season.
Let's play who traded up, who traded down. Now,
okay.
Few more change ups in the last few weeks. So we're going to do this one at a time. Priscilla went from
Nelson to Josh.
I
think circumstantially, because of what it's done, she's traded up. Potentially, yeah, she probably has traded up because Nelson's not won a daily in about 47 goes.
Oh my God, he's on like 42 now. Actually, that's a really good shout. We need a Nelson clock. Anyway, so Jeremiah has gone from Big T to Tory.
Definitely up. I think Tory's overrated, but it's definitely traded up.
Yeah, Tory has gone from Ed to no, actually we'll do Ed because we've discussed the Tory one. Ed has gone from Tory to Ashley. Ooh, that's interesting.
I'm going to say traded down for the simple fact that Ashley's mouth, I think, is going to get her into trouble.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Nelson from Priscilla to Big T.
Down.
Yeah, well, you love Priscilla, and Big T wasn't great this week. Tory from Ed to Jeremiah. Oh, that's interesting, actually.
I don't know because I don't really. This was the first episode I've seen Jeremiah in the whole show.
So I'm going to say.
I think socially it's not great for her.
I'm going to also say traded down because Ed has been good in daily challenges. Whenever I've noticed Jeremiah, he's been doing stuff badly.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I can really think of.
Yeah.
Who have I missed? Berna, Hughie,
everyone else. You have missed. We said has. We've pretty much done most of them.
Yeah. If we forgot one, inverse the other one. Nice. Anyway,
we have one brain. We have one brain.
Let's quickly say, what did you think of this episode? I know you were mixed actually, so I'm quite intrigued to see what you think.
Everything to do with Priscilla, fucking brilliant. Anything Priscilla wasn't in, nah.
She was in like 68% of the episode. So can you call this a 68? I went to the Emmanuel School of Statistics.
I'll give it a 68. The other 42, nah. Basically, not 32. Only did Priscilla save this episode, she saved this season.
32.
Yep. That's why I was talking, because I didn't want you to correct me, because I knew I was wrong.
What was 8 times 9?
806. I don't know anymore. I've lost the plot. But yeah, no, I think Priscilla not only saved this episode, she's potentially saved this season. So that's all I'll say on this one.
Literally can't wait for next week. Very quickly, what do you see happening going forward? Bear in mind, I actually watched the trailer for once. Cool looking daily challenge next week.
Well, based on the trailer, it looks like it's gone from let's get the rookies out to let's get the champs out, which isn't a spoiler because they put it at the end of the episode. So I'm very intrigued because Devin seems to be the one that is orchestrating this. And I always thought that Devin and CT were good. So
that is my final question. Is CT going into elimination next week if he doesn't win the challenge?
No.
Is it because no one wants to be the first to take a shot at him?
I think Ashley's will be voted into elimination if she doesn't win the challenge.
Interesting.
And then I think it'll be rookie picked against them. But I just think CT is someone that you have to strike at a very, very specific time when you see you have to blindside CT, and you have to blindside him when you see an elimination that you know he probably can't win, which isn't many of them.
Yeah. I mean, the only other one is CT versus Ashley. If it's a puzzle, that's who you potentially want to throw him against. I'd actually rather check him against Amanda. The final one, oh shit, you've obviously never seen it. Have you seen The Usual Suspects?
No, obviously not.
Okay, one actually really, really good film. There's a quote in that which is what happens if you're a cripple and you try and shoot the devil in the back? What happens if you miss? And it's that what happens if you miss bit, which is like no one is going to want to take the first shot of CT.
You have to shoot CT knowing that he will die.
And on that note, because that's I actually have no idea how we sign off the podcast. Is it thank you for joining us and listening?
Well, you thank your amazing co-host. It's the first thing you do. So do that one.
In all fairness, I actually really enjoyed hearing you go into a bit more of the analytics side. So, Levi, on this most special, sacred, holy of days, National Podcast Day, which I think
International Podcast Day. It's not. It's actually genuinely International Podcast Day.
International Podcast Day. Thank you for joining me.
Do you know how I know? Before we sign off, do you know how I know? Because my mum called me and she said, "It's International Podcast Day today. Are you recording the blog?"
Oh, that's really sweet, actually.
And I said, "Yes, Mum, I am recording the blog." And she said, "Oh, you can mention it." So yes, thank you, Mummy Levi. It's International Podcast Day, and I couldn't think of anyone better to spend International Podcast Day with than my host, George, aka Read This 28. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for keeping me on track and actually providing probably quite a few highlights of this pod. _Lixlev, you_Lixlev.
Yeah, it's you, isn't it? It's the you, not an at. It's weird. If you put the at, it still puts it though on Reddit.
Oh, really? Oh, that's going to save me some time. Anyway, thank you for joining us for the conversation. And if you'd like to continue the conversation with us, head over to the MTV Challenge subreddit, where they have the best mods around. That's not part of it usually, but I'm really stalling. And come talk to me, Read This 28, or my wonderful, wonderful guest, co-host, partner, spy, lie, and ally, Lixlev. And what? Oh crap!
Instagram, we hate Twitter. Instagram, we hate Twitter.
I actually do fucking hate Twitter. It's the cesspit. Also, if you want to come follow our socials, don't bother with Twitter. We don't. So come follow at Challenge React on Instagram. Drop us Instagram. I'm really failing here. Drop us a DM if you want to be on the podcast. We love having guests with you on. If you want to send us some thoughts, we'll read it out on the pod. Oh my God, let's put me out of my misery. Thanks, bye. I'm going to go lie down. And
as usual, we'll leave you with the trailer for next week's episode. Thank you, George.
Oh, right. Thank you, Levi.
Take care. Happy International Podcast Day.